Well, I guess you could say it's a good day to own a Nintendo Switch because this has been a jam-packed morning full of big games that are coming in 2020. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and we just got our first Nintendo Direct in 6 freaking months. Now, a lot of people kind of debate about what counts as a Nintendo Direct, because we have had some concentrated presentations where Nintendo came out and did like an hour of reveals about Smash Brothers or Animal Crossing. But this is the first time in quite a while where they've kind of just revealed a bunch of stuff that's big and AAA and epic, including some freaking release dates. So I want to go through the stuff that personally gets me the most excited, starting with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Now, I am a big Xenoblade Chronicles fan. I think that this is one of the best open world RPGs ever. And the fact that we're getting a new edition of it, that seems cool. But now, at the end of this trailer, it revealed something that I'd never heard about that definitely gets way more hyped, which is, it is now confirmed that it's going to have additional story chapters. Completely fresh content. Now, the original game took me over 100 hours to beat, so the fact that they're putting in extra stuff to do is absolutely going to be worth it. If you've only played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I'm sure you're already kind of used to the idea that this game is so weirdly big and giant, with sometimes walking around on behemoths' backs and trying to fight huge bosses. This game really kind of relishes in size, and the original, in my opinion, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is way better than even Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so the fact that they're making it even more expanded, yes, I'm absolutely down for it. After this, they did a bunch of tiny teasers, kind of revealing a bunch of stuff that's coming soon that are just ports. That's one thing I will say about this Nintendo Direct Mini, because they are calling it a mini. It definitely didn't have the same impact of huge, giant Nintendo first-party stuff. We didn't see Breath of the Wild 2. There wasn't like some random thing revealed for like Luigi's Mansion 4 or Splatoon 3. This was definitely about showing the stuff that is coming soon to give people something to kind of plan out. I mean, we're kind of in a chaotic time period. People are trying to budget things and see what they can or can't afford. But here's the thing, when they decided to reveal a bunch of teaser ports, the one that really caught my eye is that we're going to be getting some 2K games, including Borderlands on the Nintendo Switch, which, hell yes, and more importantly, BioShock. BioShock on the Nintendo Switch has long been rumored. I am so into this game, I actually have BioShock tattoos. This being on there is a must-buy. Personally, I am hoping that this gets a physical edition. I own BioShock originally on the Xbox 360. I own it in the collection on Xbox One. I would love to have a physical collection of the BioShock series. That way I can put that on my shelf because it deserves to be played. Check out BioShock. Now, I want to talk about the thing that I am the most hyped about. They showed a lot of cool stuff, but the thing that definitely kind of won me over the most, Bravely Default 2. I love Bravely Default. I have my Bravely Default 1 and 2, or so we used to call Bravely Second Layer. We used to call this Bravely Default 2. And now we realize it's not. There is a new game coming out that is Bravely Default 2. We were aware that this existed, but now we're seeing real in-depth gameplay of the combat, the plot line, and more about why this is going to be epic. I love the fact that they're introducing stuff like new combat swaps, different turn phases, and most importantly, a detailed job system, so we can just fundamentally alter each of the characters and how they fight. This seems like it's going to be epic. If you have not tried Bravely Default, it's gonna blow your mind. I honestly think if this comes out this year, which they're saying it will come out in 2020, this is going to be RPG of the year. I'm calling it right now. After one trailer, this is going to be the turn-based RPG we want. Of course, there's bigger RPGs that are coming out, like the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but that's more of an action RPG now. This is very likely going to be the turn-based game of the year. Moving on though, let's talk about something that I am kind of just into. Right now, me and all my friends are completely addicted to Animal Crossing. We cannot stop trying to hunt ghosts and explore this stuff and jump on a plane and fly to other random islands, enjoying the multiplayer and the single player for all it's worth. Well, they've already announced that there is about to be the first free update, which is going to be like an Easter event, allowing you to go around and hunt down eggs. It's kind of goofy, it's kind of silly, but this sort of also opens up the door to what could be next. Now, normally I'm against downloadable content if it's bad quality. You guys know I've railed upon like microtransactions and loot crates. Pretty much anything they release DLC-wise for Animal Crossing, I definitely gotta pick up. More customization, more chances to try and add cutesy things to my house, I'm definitely down for it. So most of this whole direct was pretty predictable. It was stuff that, even if it was cool or new, it was stuff that didn't completely blow us away, except for one thing that already seems to be lighting the internet on fire, which is ARMS. Now, this came out a long time ago, and it's kind of been forgotten. Well, Nintendo is trying to remind us that it exists by creating a free play version of it, so you can just try it out, and additionally, they just dropped a tiny little teaser in here that said the next Smash character, which is coming very soon, is actually going to be, surprisingly, an ARMS character. Now, this is good and bad. Some people are happy about it, some people aren't, but to me, it's just kind of interesting to think of how they're going to fit into this universe. It seems like a big chunk of this direct was trying to kind of just get us hyped for the upcoming year, to kind of remind gamers that there is a good reason to own a Nintendo Switch in 2020, because let's face it, a lot of people right now are nervous because of the economy and the world and everything that's going chaotic and just honestly kind of getting destroyed, but also because, let's face it, a lot of game developers right now are having to work from home. They're not to the studios, so a lot of gamers I know are kind of mumbling, are we going to have a quiet 2020? And it seems like part of the reason they did this 28-minute presentation, which is still weird that they're calling it a mini because it seemed pretty enormous, it seems like they were trying to show us that, hey, things are still going to be very, very busy, even if we're not getting Mario Odyssey 2. Now, after this, they showed a bunch of tiny teasers for all sorts of random games that I hadn't heard of, like a ninja dueling battle royale game, and the fact that they're bringing Saints Row over to the Nintendo Switch. All of this stuff is going to be good, and I think it's kind of making me realize that the eShop is still going to be pumping. There's still going to be some nice hidden gems and big things that are definitely going to be fun to play, and I'm definitely going to be picking up. The final thing that they revealed is something that they definitely dedicated a lot of time to that I'm not super invested in, but I do want to talk about, just for a short bit, Pokemon Sword and Shield Expansion Pass. Now, they've talked about this because we knew for a fact that we're going to be getting a Sword and Shield Expansion Pass, which is kind of, it's sort of DLC, but it also feels like downloadable content more in the 90s sense. Back in the day, whenever you got an expansion, typically what it was a huge fundamental rework of core mechanics of the game. You felt rewarded to buy an expansion, and it seems like they're wanting to do that with the Pokemon Sword and Shield Expansion Pass. It does look like it's going to have a lot of new locations, a lot of new Pokemon, and a lot of stuff to kind of make it where the community is heavily rewarded. Now, I don't consider myself a Pokemon fan anymore. I've played some of them, or I've played all of them, I've beaten most of them. They're fun games, but Pokemon Sword and Shield wasn't really for me. I will make you a deal though. If this comes out and it starts getting a lot of 10 out of 10s, I'll probably pick up the expansion pass just out of curiosity. I'm not really into Pokemon Sword and Shield. I didn't really think it was that fun, but I'm still definitely open-minded to, if the expansion pass manages to really expand the fun that we have, maybe I'll pick it up. So it seems like overall this was a pretty decent presentation. Of course it didn't pack any of the crazy punches or massive reveals that some people were probably hoping for, but as a mini direct, I found this to be very, very satisfying. I would give it an 8 out of 10. Definitely glad it happened, definitely going to be picking some of these games up. Some of the stuff I'm probably going to pre-order, like maybe I'm going to get the Xenoblade Chronicles Special Ultimate Edition they revealed, but everything in here definitely looks like it's going to be very, very fun. What did you think about it? Is this enough to really whet your appetite? Is this enough to try and get you excited? Or do you think that they should maybe just hold off with the mini directs and save up their potential for a huge hour-long mega direct at some point? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. You know, I love all this stuff. I think it's so cool that they showed so many games. I do wish we'd gotten a couple more shadow drops. There's been a bunch of rumors and stuff that there's certain games already posted on the eShop. I wish that they just, at the end of the direct, been like, alright, there are now 10 new games that are live now. That's the stuff to me that's always just such a fun shock. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.